Hello, my name is Charles Goodling, and this is the video presenting on Turner Contract Solutions website revamp. These following group members worked with me: Cameron Christening, Brittany Dees, Furtis Ghani, Cody Gill, and Ashanta Griffith. But to show the website as it currently is, Squarespace had some issues with when you change the banner and whatnot. It would change even throughout the archived pages and whatnot. So the banner before was actually an American flag, and it took up a lot of the page, and it was kind of it didn't really add anything that really popped to their business. So they added a team photo here, kind of showing them working on a different project, and we added a quote in there to kind of help make them unique, along with changing some of the color throughout the website. We added little snippets down here, kind of pinpointing different things that they do. Each one of these links right here, TCS Portfolio and Services, all link to one of the pages at the top, and just kind of little summaries of each little thing to kind of help draw the customer into wanting to do it, with little stock images of stuff that they've been doing. These are actually pictures from things that they have done to just kind of add that uniqueness to their website. So all these pictures are actually from stuff that they've been doing, stuff that's on site. It just makes it unique to them. This is their Hummer they drive around in. I really like this picture. So right here's a little background on TCS and Mr. Turner as to how they formed and where they started and what their goals are, kind of something to get the clients that are looking into using them as a business. Services has multiple little pages in it. So the first one is services. What services do they provide? Home maintenance and repair, kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, outdoor additions. And each one of these pictures right here will direct you to their portfolio, which then will show even more of different things that they've done, so that it can be looked at and you can kind of get an idea for what they can do. So just some of the work with a slideshow right here showing the things that they've done. Same thing for down here. Don't you want one of those toilets in your life? And it just kind of keeps going and going. And then another portfolio here. Just kind of giving the people that are looking into the website enough stuff to see, to kind of know the quality of work that they are getting from TCS. HomeWise is something that we found help offset the need for another thing. They wanted a calculator, in a sense, that would give them estimates, but they needed to be pretty much static and not be updated a lot. So we found this that basically uses your zip code and scans the different Home Depot and other websites for how much the project itself would cost, and then it would give them an idea of what TCS may quote them for. Because a lot of times they said one of the biggest issues is customers would call and ask for quotes, but they'd tell them the quote and they wouldn't even know even close to how much it would cost, and they would get upset. So they wanted something that would allow them to basically offset that. And HomeWise is pretty good. You can go in here and do different things, like let's say I want to do a frame tray. Well, my zip code's 31211. Update square feet, and it basically tells you the average costs for things, so that you're going into this with kind of an idea of how much something may cost before you're contacting them, with just different little links to why using it, and things of the nature. Rent application is something that they added while we were working on it, but we kind of helped tweak it a little bit to basically they're renting out things for tools and different things for them to use. And here's the information that they need to do that. The connect one is basically like your social media connect, where their office is located with the little map icon that you can interactively look and see where in it is located. As you can see, it's way past Statesboro. We're here in Macon. A little contact us thing that would send them an email through the website to get in contact with them. We added a testimonials page using all the testimonials from their home advisor, from their Google, and various other platforms that they have gotten testimonials on for the type of work that they have done. And each one of these leads to where it was actually at. For example, this one leads you to here, which is their Google stuff, and kind of shows all their responses from there. Then, for example, this one is actually on Home Advisor, and it shows, my bad, I'm scrolling down. It shows that their reviews are down here. Neat little thing, kind of adding validity to each testimonial. And we've already went over to portfolio.
Hello guys, this video is just going to be an addendum, basically just a visual representation of the tutorial that was created. So let's just go ahead and get started with the broadest topic possible, which is just the web pages themselves. You can, if you need to, delete a page just by going over here to the trash can icon, and conversely, if you need to create a web page, you go over here to the plus icon. You can just choose from different layouts, basically different templates, whatever you want to call them. You can also say that you're working on a page. You can come over here to the settings and go to enable page, toggle that on and off. What that does is it makes it to where the web page is not visible to the public, but you're able to still work on it and have it and not have to delete it, basically. Let's go ahead and click cancel. Now, even though I had it back on enable, one good thing I like about this site is whether you're canceling or saving changes, you'll almost always get a little pop-up to confirm it. So you've made changes, are you sure you want to discard them? I do want to discard them, even though I left it the same. It's just a good habit to get into. But I like that just because it makes it harder to mess something up, basically. So let's go back here. Now we went from pages. Let's just go to something else that's simple, like the font, just the way that the text looks on the page. You go to design, then you go to site styles, and from site styles you can see down here there's fonts for different sections. The navigation font, which is up here. The page title font, which I believe is actually up here. One thing I do want to point out, if you're not sure what heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 is, basically heading 1 is just the largest overall font. If you have a very verbose page with a lot of paragraphs and what have you, you can have the main header just be at the very top, obviously. Then heading 2 would be a subheader of heading 1. Heading 3 likewise will be a subheading of heading 2. So they basically, as they go up in number, they get less and less pronounced, basically. But it's still just a good way to cut up some of the paragraphs and all that, make it more readable. So let's see here. Speaking of editing fonts and all that, what you have up here is the page section itself, followed by page content, Then at last, the footer content. I like to think of it just like the header, um, the body, and the footer, basically. In any case, you can, if you need to add or delete anything from here, you just go to Edits, and you'll notice these little blips that come up on the left over here. These are insertion points. They will only be on the top left or bottom left corners of any sort of objects, for lack of a better word, in your web page. So let's just try something right here. You can just click on the insertion point and add text, spacer, button, an image, or you can have a little gallery like you guys have on your portfolio page. So let's just add a line, for instance, and you see there's a line right there. The way that these work, you can drag and drop them, basically however you want them to appear on the page. When you click on the insertion point, though, it will, if it's on the top left, it'll appear directly above. If it's on the bottom left, it'll appear directly below. However, like I said, you can just drag and drop. See over to the side over here. You can make it like that. Over here, if you needed to. And then to delete something, you just hover over it and trash can icon. Now, if we're adding images, it works pretty much the same way on just a basic image itself or slideshow carousel. Carousel is what I believe you guys have right now for the portfolio part. Let's just say we're going to add a carousel down here. The way that it works is you can either click upload images, and then you can go over to your pictures, what have you, and just double click them, or just select it, click open, and it'll appear in here. You can also just open up your file explorer and drag and drop. So, oops, like you can't do it right here. Well, you can. You can drag and drop over here. It kind of makes it a little bit easier if you want to do it that way. You can search for images, which is basically it'll be just stock photos, what have you, free, premium, imported. You can also go ahead and change the design, show next and previous controls, which is basically these right here. So you take them off, those disappear. Automatically transition between slides. I believe that's more like a how do you call it? Almost like a screensaver, where it transitions between photo to photo. Open links in new windows. That is, if you click an image and it has a hyperlink, it'll pop up on its own window or tab. So that's basically that. And images works in much the same way, except for obviously you only use one image instead of multiple. So let's go ahead and remove this. One thing that is important to show as well, I believe, is the buttons. They're under the basic menu. Then you see you'll have right here the text in it. It'll be like learn more. Then you put in the link right here, and I think it'll be very useful. Obviously, let's go ahead and delete that. Last thing I want to show is just the text itself. So let's just start writing. There's just some regular text right here. Now back to what I was saying about heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You can just put heading 1. Heading 2, and you notice that they changed a little bit. They have their own little distinct style, but they're always smaller than the heading before it. See, this one doesn't even do auto all caps. So, but in any case, that's basically it. And then you got the regular text down here, which you can just do basic things with. You can make them into like a quote, center it, put on the left, put on the right. Let's go ahead and remove this block. That's basically it. So let's go over here and click cancel. Just some final notes here. Everything that you will need to change, you'll be able to find over here in the design section. There's also, of course, commerce, marketing, scheduling, and analytics. But as you guys don't currently have any payments that are being processed over the website, commerce, I don't think you'll find too much there that'll relate to anything that you do. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video.